What's going on, everyone? Just the buzz here. If you're new to the channel, I make Charlotte Hornets content, so if that interests you, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. If you cannot tell by the thumbnail title of this video, in today's video, we're going to be talking about everything you need to know about Delon Wright. There's been rumors recently talking about the Charlotte Hornets possibly looking to acquire Delon Wright after they lost out on Aaron Holiday. And personally, I don't know. There's another player on the market who I think the Charlotte Hornets could afford easily, that I think would be an even better fit for the Charlotte Hornets. However, I cannot look at Delon Wright and say no to that. I mean, granted, it would have to be a trade. The other player we could sign through free agency, which I will be making a video about that other player probably right after this, after I finish recording this one. But Delon Wright, 31 years old, can play point guard, shooting guard, 6'5", gives a little height to the backcourt. I don't know, man. I think that he will be a good pickup. He averaged 7, 4, and 4 essentially last year, shooting on 47, 35, and 87 splits essentially. I think I would take that. I mean, he's going to be on the last year of his deal, so there you go, expired on contract. So if you don't like what you see that year, you can always just let him walk. But you get a guy like that. I think he offers pretty solid perimeter defense. He's a vet. He acts like he carries himself like a vet. I know that's something we talk about that we need for the Charlotte Hornets a lot, but I don't think I could be mad at the Charlotte Hornets getting Delon Wright. He 24 minutes a game last year and averaging almost 2 steals, technically 1.8 steals, but basically 2 steals. I don't see how you look at this Charlotte Hornets team, look at Delon Wright, and at least ask what the price is. Because if it's book night in a second, I think you're taking it. If it's, I don't even know. It doesn't even have to necessarily be book night. But if it's someone that we don't use, because you're gonna have to do that because we're gonna have to trade a player. I think it's just worth it. Even if it's a 1-year rental, you get a veteran in there, you get to try him out, and that's exactly what it gets to be. And you sign him to another 2-year deal. Like the deal he's on was like 2 years, $16 million. So you sign him to another one, 2 years, $10 million. I think he'll take that. 2 years, $12 million. Maybe he gets another 2 years, $16 million, but that still wouldn't hurt considering the quality backup point guard you would get. I can only imagine this is someone where if LaMelo gets hurt, I am perfectly fine with this guy being our starting point guard if everybody else is doing what they're supposed to do. I'm perfectly fine with that. Like and I know some people don't really care for advanced stats like that, but I'm going to give you some per basketball index just because of the fact that I want you to understand these stats and see how they directly impact the Charlotte Hornets. So, for example, ball dominance. He's 31% of the time he has the ball when he's on the floor. That's 86th percentile. I think we need that ball dominance because we need that guy to really play make and kind of run the offense. He has shown he can do that because he's not an ISO player. He's not going to sit there and just ISO to death. He is looking to move the ball. But I think having someone that we're comfortable with the ball in their hand, I will take that. I will take that 8 times out of 7. So I definitely would like to have Delon Wright be our backup point guard. And then you look at his drive pass out rate. 48% of the time, essentially, he's driving and passing it out. And I think we need that because if he's passing it out, that means someone's got open. And we need that. We say that we need rim conversion, which we do. We definitely need people to be able to attack the basket and finish at the rim. However, for this team, it does help a lot. And in basketball in general, it helps a lot. If you can have someone who you're at least believing when they drive, they're going to go for the layup. And with his playmaking ability, he can find the open corner guy. That opens it up for Brandon Miller. That opens up for Gordon Hayward, LaMelo Ball, who's really good at catch and shoot threes. It helps everyone. Miles Bridges, who will be back. It helps everyone if that you can believe that he's attacking the basket, because then you have guys get wide open on the wing or in the corner. So I think that that's something else we have to look at because it's not something we really have too much of. And lastly, I want to talk about his defensive presence. His defensive presence at the point guard position, it is not, I don't think it will be to the extent of Dennis Smith Jr. However, this guy is an expert at playing the passing lanes. Steals per 75 possessions is 4.3 steals per 75 possessions. That's 100th percentile. That means barely anybody else does that. And you're using it off 24.4 minutes a game. So imagine what he's doing if he has to start it and playing less minutes. I think what you're going to get with Delon Wright is just, even if no matter what amount of minutes you give him, whether it's 15, whether it's 12, whether it's 20, it's going to be some of the most efficient minutes for the Charlotte Hornets that anybody can provide us on this team. I truly believe that. And we also got to look at his deflections. 6.3 per 75 possessions. 6.3 deflections, which we know this team loves playing the passing lanes. That's, once again, 99th percentile. I think this guy is just perfect for the Charlotte Hornets. The only thing I would like is that his three-point shooting goes up, but he was playing on the Washington Wizards last year, so maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe he just wasn't getting the looks. I don't know. I would love to go back and kind of watch his three-point attempts. But even though 35% is not that bad, it's not that bad. It's not too far off from 37. He's a brisk of win away from shooting 37% essentially. So I would take my bet on that, especially considering you can sign him to a deal you like better after this year, or you can just let him walk if he's not what you're quite looking for. The only thing is he's just not a permanent fix, and I think I want a permanent fix to the backup point guard position because of the fact that as of right now, LaMelo has injury issues. So I would like someone I can count on game in, game out, year in, year out for the next couple of years to be a viable backup point guard. And I just don't know if we have that with Delon Wright, with him being 31 years old and also being on expiring.